Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about a couple Black history facts that we got that we thought you guys may not have heard yet. If you did, that's awesome. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into our prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we just come to you just to say thank you, Lord God, for the Black excellence, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God, for the Black writers, the Black inventors, Lord God, everyone that has taken up making this place a great place, Lord God, just building a foundation to this earthly place that we have to endure every day, Lord God. I thank you just for the intelligence that you have placed upon your people, Lord God. I thank you for the wisdom and the knowledge that you have graced us with, Lord God. Even when they try to take it away from us, Lord God, thank you, Lord God, for allowing us to just shine. Lord God, I thank you, Lord God, for being able to allow us to just thrive, Lord God. I thank you for Black history, which is all our history, Lord God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. That's valid right there. Like I personally don't think that we should just have 1 month dedicated to us as Black people because, like Trump said, we're the builders of America.
Hello. They know this.
They already know. You know, I know they know. They just don't really want to fully give us the credit where it's due. But it's okay.
Because we're here to, spread the word.
We're going to still shine.
Keep this history alive. Keep these facts alive. Pass this on for many generations to come.
But that's key right there.
Yeah.
Passing it on.
Yeah.
Because in reality, in most cases, it's not taught in school, so we really have to take the time to teach our kids what we know, what we have learned. And in many cases, we have to just go ahead and do the research and study ourselves in order to be able to give that knowledge to the kids.
And keep that same energy when it comes to like family history.
A lot
of people don't even know their family tree or, where they're originally from or, same, but it's like, the more you know, the more you start to become more aware. Like this stuff is really important to keep these things alive. It's like, our great grandkids need to know where we came from and, what we did in this world and, what we stood for or if they marched or it's just stuff like that or was any type of activist or, things of that nature, just keeping the history alive.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Yeah,
totally.
Okay, so I want to start by reciting one of my favorite Black history poems by Maya Angelou, Still I Rise.
Yes, I love that one.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may throw me in a very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why do you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I rise. Do you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes.
It's 3 o'clock.
Down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my hauntiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of my huts of history shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
I like that.
That's one of my favorite poems.
Yes. Maya just went in.
She really did.
Miss Angela just went
I kind of was like, break that down a little bit. Like, yes, because
I want to bring something up. I know, initially we're supposed to be doing the power of the tongue, and I know you had called me and was like, we should do some poems as it relates to Black people, Black Americans, who some may have and may have not been acknowledged for their work, and I think that it still falls in line with the power of the tongue.
Yeah, I agree.
Simply because it's dealing with poetry, and
words,
that's of the tongue, So, yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that. Yeah, so that's dope. I like that, especially considering the fact that she was one that didn't talk.
Yeah.
Her voice was like kind of taken from dealing with certain things in her childhood, and she didn't speak for a very long time. And when she started to open her mouth, the power of the tongue, yeah, indeed. I just wanted to, touch bases on that.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna share with you all a poem that I had to learn in the 11th grade. That was many years ago. And the hardest thing is, I had the hardest time learning the poem. I could only get that first paragraph, and that was it. But I don't even remember Miss Pearson. That was her name. Yes, my 11th grade English teacher. She was a great woman. I'm saying was because I don't know if she's still alive or not, but if she is, kudos to you. But yeah, so the poem was "We Wear the Mask" by Paul Laurence Dunbar. We'll give you a little snippet on him. He was born June 27, 1872. And this particular poem was published in 1895, which was part of his second volume of poems and one of the most well-known piece. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts, we smile. And mouth of merit substitutes. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but, O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. So that was a piece that I actually liked, but I just had the hardest time memorizing. I only get that first paragraph, and that was it. It was really the first 3 lines, to be honest. When the whole first paragraph, and we had to stand in front of the classroom and do it. Girl, I came a long way, y'all.
Facts.
I was stuttering and everything. A nervous red pen was fidgety, sweating.
They would give us extra points just to get up and, speak about our projects or whatever it was we had to do in class. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. Because I don't want to get up there and talk about it.
But you know something? I'm going to be honest. Like, I really feel like the main reason I had a hard time getting up to recite poems or even to do a speech or anything of that nature was because I was always told to shut up. As a child, I was always told to shut up because I always had something to say. I'm all like, shut up. You shut up. So, it made it hard. So that's why I say all the time, parents, please don't tell your child to shut up. Please. You're taking their voice away. Okay? It's power in the tongue. You're taking their voice away. So, yeah. I just want to touch base on that again. That's how I talked about it before. Yeah, I did. I'm sure I did.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure I did.
We had a whole episode on that.
Yeah, I think we did. That's why I said I'm pretty sure I talked about that. Yeah, we probably did more than one. You know what? We probably did a episode on it, but it kept coming up simply because
it's a very important fact.
It is very, very, very important. Like I'm telling you all, parents is very important. That's why I allow my children, even though they still have this thing with talking in front of people, like a large group of people. but I still encourage them to speak, you know. And actually, my baby girl, she's a writer, you know. Although she won't share it, but she writes. She does, and she had this one piece that she wrote, and it was very touching, very touching to the point where I was crying after I heard her to read it. She wouldn't send it to me. I guess she figured out I was gonna keep reading it and sharing it and stuff like that. So she was like, "No, I'm not sending it to you, but I read it to you." And right today, I don't know if she still got it. I'm pretty sure she probably do in the iCloud somewhere. Out there in the cloud. I'm pretty sure she does, but she's not gonna acknowledge it. But we're gonna move on along. You wanna go? The next one?
Okay, so Phyllis Wheatley, often referred to as the mother of African American literature, was the first African American to publish a book of poetry, poems on various subjects, religions, and morals in 1773. I know you also had some facts about her.
I do. So you want me to go? Okay. So yes, she was born in 1753 in Gambia. She was actually a slave. She was kidnapped at the age of between 7 and 8 years old. And like Miss Aisha said, she did write a book of poems, and in this book of poems that she wrote, she was really given a lot of credit and a lot of acknowledgement, even though they didn't believe that she wrote it, you know, initially. So they had to go through a cycle of proving that she actually wrote it, because she was a very smart young lady, very, very talented. And it didn't take her long to really learn English, you know, so she did her thing, definitely, in making her mark in history. But she also wrote this one particular piece that was widely spread and gained the acknowledgement of many. And it was in reference to, what was his name? George Whitefield. Okay, so it was internationally famed in 1770 when she wrote this piece for the revivalist Baptist preacher named George Whitefield. He was known to lead the first Great Awakening. And when she wrote this piece, she's discussing how Whitefield's care and concern for African American slaves, how it was impactful. And so I'm going to go ahead and read y'all the piece that she wrote. "Take him, my dear Americans," he said. "Be your complaints on his bosom laid. Take him, ye Africans. He longs for you. Impartial Savior is his title due. Wash there in the fountain of redeeming. You shall be sons and kings and priests to God." Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I first read that, I don't like it.
But it is a powerful message.
It's very powerful. Until I wrote it out, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I get it. It's a really deep piece. So if you all would like to share, comment as it relates to this particular piece, because again, like I said, when I first read it, I'm like, oh, I don't think I like this. And so I had to actually sit here and write it out. And I'm that person. Sometimes it takes me to write it out for it to snap, you know. And for me, I could see, because she wrote it in reference to Whitefield. She was really speaking in reference to him, but at the same time, you know, giving the acknowledgement to God, you know, in the process of writing this piece. So for me, I gained a different interpretation of it after I wrote it out. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for setting that foundation for us, Miss Phyllis.
Yes. Yes.
Next, I have Lucy Terry on August 25th, 1746. She was 22 years old, neighboring two white families, which were killed in an Indian attack in a section of Deerfield that was called the Bars, a colonial term for meadows. She later wrote a 30-line ballad about the attack called Bard's Fight, which describes the violent incident between the two settlers and Native Americans. Bard's Fight was the first known poem written by a Black American. Sarah was also kidnapped and enslaved in Rhode Island as a child, but became free at the age of 26 after marrying a free Black man. So, yes, we have some very awesome women and men of color who literally set this foundation for us to have a voice to speak out, because even being enslaved and kidnapped, they were all still able to create and keep history alive, by speaking their truth through these poems and just being able to share pieces of their experience, to keep to send on to generations even beyond their own. So I'm glad.
And another fact that I want to acknowledge is the strength that they had. Like they didn't disregard the fact of being enslaved, being having to pretend, and as it relates to the things that they went through. But the fact that they kept faith, they kept hope, and they continue to move forward and continue to do, invent, and create. And, like, when you really think about it, it's a whole lot of power in that.
Facts. To get these writings published and to just even figure it out, because they didn't want us to learn how to read or write. So to be able to say, okay, regardless, I'm still going to do this. I'm going to get these things published. I'm going to be the voice for my people, when they don't have a voice for themselves. So I truly like empowering,
especially when you consider that they were still enslaved. And now we're not enslaved. So although they still try to stop us, it's nothing like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? To a degree, but to
a degree, you have a little bit more freedom. So
So yeah, I think that is so dope. Especially to be able to go back and to read up on them and to learn about, and be able to see and identify even in their work how it relates to us still today. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's so dope. Really cool. So yeah, if anybody got something that they want to say, don't be shy.
Okay, next I have a literature lecturer called William Wells Brown. He wrote Clotel, or The President's Daughter, which was the first novel published by African American in 1853. It was written by, he was, again, a lecturer and abolitionist, a pioneer in traveling, writing, fiction, and drama. He was highly acclaimed for the effectiveness of many of his writings. So shout out to Mr. William Brown, for getting out that fiction, that drama, that excitement, giving writing a little twist, and just coming up with some groundbreaking things that, just being creative and being free and just, doing what you truly enjoy doing and giving us this passage to follow in your footsteps.
His first piece was published when?
In 1853.
Okay, so to piggyback on what you just said, Jupiter Hammond, first African American published in America in 1761 at the age of 50. He had his first book published. I've never heard of him. But yes, his first book was published in 1761.
Matter of fact, all the people that we talked about so far, this is like my first time hearing about them.
So I'm just blown though, honestly, because when you think about it, they were still enslaved.
During those eras.
Right. But they still wrote books and had them published. Although they probably didn't get the money behind it, all the acknowledgement, but
of course,
their work is there. That's why I say we have to really do the research and identify. We're so dang
dope. Black people are so dope. I love that place.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for everybody black.
Well, everybody is black.
Facts, though. Facts. I'm talking about all the, like, you know, the ones that are
The ones who
black.
don't know.
Yeah.
Rooting for them.
Yeah.
Yes. But all of us black.
Facts. We are the dominant.
I want y'all to believe that. So yeah,
you are. Octavia Butler, I've actually heard of her. From 1946 to 2006, she was a pioneer in the sci-fi genre. She was one of the few females and blacks who wrote in the genre. In 1995, she received the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, one of the coveted Genius grants. We are just excellent. Like, I just can't get over how Black excellence, like, how it been existence, and I'm the fact that we're just starting to realize it. It's mind blowing because like we've always been the foundation. We've always been dope. We've always had the Black magic. That we're just now realizing it, but it's always been inside of us, and nobody will be able to take that away from us.
Facts. But the thing that really gets me the most is how and why this is not being taught in the schools. Like, how is it present and why is it not being taught in the schools? You know, it just really makes me wonder that. Like,
but we gotta learn about all these tea parties.
Exactly. Like, but what about Black American history or African American history? What about that?
I seen this little.
They always want to talk about chains and whips.
Yeah, but like, I seen this clip where in the white is. I'm sorry. This Caucasian school where they wouldn't allow the Caucasian students to take this Black history class because they said it wasn't important. It wasn't something. Basically saying. Yeah, I believe it was in Florida. Yeah. Basically saying that, you know, it's not going to help their education, that they didn't need it. It wasn't important for them, you know, to take it. Yeah, but it was like crazy because why we got to learn y'all history, but y'all not allowed to learn ours, or
better yet, you try to keep a lot of our history away from us.
Yeah,
you don't even allow us to. I don't say you don't allow us to, but you don't make it present in the schools. You know, like, unfortunately, we have a lot of adults who are parents who don't do the research, who doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? So, in most cases, dealing with Black Americans, we have to really like do the due diligence for ourselves. You know. And unfortunately, like I said, that's not the case in most Black American households. And the first place that many Black Americans learn is at school. And I think that the school system knows this. So it's just like, we got to do better. Like, there should be a protest to educate the young generation of the facts of our history.
And so I'm saying that word of mouth, us passing these facts along, just keeping this history alive, you know, so that the next generations are able to remember these things and pass it on to their next generation. And so the cycle never breaks. So we know how excellent we've always been since the beginning of time.
Exactly.
Because, you know, before the white presidency phase started, there was Black presidents. Yeah, that's just not in our history book. So, you know, just again, read up on this history, do your own due diligence, and figure out these facts, and just keep this history alive. Like, because again, they're not trying to teach it in our school systems.
I think, is it 1898? Was it North Carolina?
I'm not sure about those facts, but I know for a fact that it was Black presidents.
No, not the Black president part. I was speaking in reference to the political offices that was being held by Black people, and I believe it was North Carolina in 1898, and they were Republicans actually, and because they were in position and they hold a place in the political aspect, they were, a lot of them killed, and they encouraged Black voters to not vote by threatening them
Mm-hmm.
and killing them. As a matter of fact, a whole little town was killed off. Like they don't teach that.
No,
they don't teach that. So yeah, we really have to do our work.
Yeah,
we really do.
Facts.
Research.
Facts.
Learn. There are like so many different documentaries
Mm-hmm.
that are out there
Mm-hmm.
that talks about Black history as it relates to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's present.
Mm-hmm.
All we have to do is just go get it.
Go get it. Facts.
So yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
Have another one.
Yep. E. Lynn Harris was a groundbreaking author who died in 2009 but left an impressive literary mark. He virtually created a new genre: gay, Black men in conflict and in loving relationships. His best known work is Invisible Life, which he done in 1991. So we leave those type of marks because the Black magic again that we have instilled in us. It's
Sprinkle
like,
it.
yeah, a little shimmer here, shimmer there. Yeah, we're just really dope. It's like crazy to think like how they took a lot of our inventions and creations and turned them into their own because they had the funding behind it, they had the support behind it. But in all reality, they stole it from Black people. Like,
in most cases, they did still.
Yeah, a lot of cases. Like, we really, literally built this country, like, on our backs. Stand 10 toes down on that. Like, none of this would be.
They have this portrait. It was circulating, I think maybe 3 years ago, where you had Black men that were on their hands and knees, and they were the table that the white man sat at, and they played games on that table. Yeah. Wow. When you said that, it took me back to that portrait.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an actual painting or something. I'm not really sure, but I do remember seeing that on IG, actually. And I was like, dang.
That's deep.
Like, and it's literal.
Yeah, it's really deep. Because that's really how it's been. Yeah, just playing games on our backs. Like, and it's time for us to stand up. Let's break the games up.
And that's what it says. What if...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Their game will be
over.
And
that's true. I wholeheartedly believe that. If we just stood up and took back that power.
And I think not just stand up, but we stand up and stand together.
In
that's
unison.
The key.
Yeah, facts. The united. Like, yeah, that's the biggest key right there.
And we're not saying anything that's violent.
Oh,
no. Violence or anything like that.
We're
just
be smart, just like about keeping the Black dollar in our circle, instead of supporting and spending all our money with these other companies. Like, I'm talking as far as that. Let's be smart there because our dollar is very powerful because, is a lot of us out here, we just stay together, keep that Black dollar within our own community. We can get a lot done. Like the Black Wall Street, I see a lot of people are trying to start up a Black Wall Street or build these small cities.
Black communities.
These cities for just us.
Cities, thank you. That's it.
I really respect those type of things, and I really want to become a part of something like that because, like, I'm going for everybody Black.
We're not prejudiced
at all. I'm not prejudiced at all. But baby, yeah.
I am for my people.
I'm for my people for sure.
So if you're Black, you're Black.
Next, I have Dorothy West, who was recognized as one of the last surviving members of the Harlem Renaissance. She was best known for the Living in Easy, 1948, and The Wedding in 1995. So yeah, the Harlem Renaissance was a great era for us as Blacks. Langston Hughes was also a part of that, which brings me to my next poet, who was also a playwright, editor, and a novelist. His most famous poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers, was written and published a year after he graduated from high school. His home in New York City has a landmark statue. So if you live in New York City or want to visit there one day, maybe you should go check it out. I know I want to go. Um, Christopher J. Perry founded the Philadelphia Tribune in 1884, and this newspaper continues to operate till this day. Yes. He began writing articles at the age 14 and promoted to editor before striking out on his own to start the Tribune. So that's like just having that faith and just believing like that the power of the tongue, because I'm sure he spoke like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this out. I'm gonna have my own newspaper article, like, and look, still to this day, it's still around. Like, and that was in 1884. Here we are in 2023, 2023.
23, girl.
I know. I'm sorry.
Show me back 20 years.
Girl, I was in third grade. Oh my God. 2023, y'all know what I mean. Bear with me. But it's just amazing, you know, just to have that legacy just continue. Like, that's dope. Mary Baraka served as a poet laureate. I don't know if I said that word right. Of New Jersey, and founded the Black Arts Movement in Harlem in the 1960s. In addition to poems, he has written essays and dramas, and he's recipient of the NEA, and Rockefeller Grant. So, yeah, we got some great sponsors and was granted, you know, some great awards. And I'm just like surprised that, you know, I've never heard of a lot of these people or, you know, these facts that the things that we did, you know, just to start the literature of this, you know, century, this country. Like, it's amazing to me.
And what's even more amazing is that there's so many more.
So many more. So many more. Yeah,
know,
facts.
That we don't even know or are not even made aware of, you know?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Third World Press is the oldest and largest publisher of a Black thought and literature in the U.S. It was founded in 1967 by Haki R. Mehabuti, Jahari Amani, and Carolyn Rogers. Sorry if I messed those things up. But to just think like that, Black people created the world's third press, the largest.
The world's largest third press.
Boom. Because that just tongue tied me. Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. Novelist Terry McMillan began her distinguished career as a Doubleday Fiction Contest winner. She won the American Book Award and is known for her books, Mama and Waiting to Excel. Oh, I never knew Waiting to Excel had a book. Now I want to read that because I love that movie.
Was the movie based off a book?
Probably so. Probably the book came out first.
In most cases,
yeah,
that is the case.
The books come out first.
Make a movie based off a book.
Yeah, I gotta find that one. I love that movie. Jane California Cooper began her writing career as a playwright. She turned her dramatic storytelling skills into fiction, publishing Homemade Love in 1986, a collection of stories which won her an American Book Award. I think that's so awesome. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people probably have heard of Zora Hurston, which is known for her most prolific Black woman, for being known as the most prolific Black woman writer of the first half of the 20th century. She is best known for Their Eyes Were Watching God. I had to read that, and I love it for 12th grade. And Dust Tracks on the Road, and it's also a movie for that book as well. We also have a two-time Pulitzer winner, August Wilson, who was a playwright. He was best known for the Pittsburgh Cycle, a series of plays covering 10 decades. Poet Sonia Sanchez was heavily involved with the Black arts movement, and she was a Pew Fellow and has authored more than 16 books. This is amazing. Like that, some of these people were big and famous for decades, and we're just now learning about them for the first time. Like when they've been coming up with content and being awarded for their many writings of playwrights or short storytellings. And yeah, this is like, it's really inspiring for me as a writer and a poet, because it's like, okay, you can do it. Like,
definitely,
you can get this done. James Baldwin was a novelist, a poet, and an essayist, and he's best known for Go Tell It on the Mountain, which is considered an American classic. Many of you may have heard of that, but this is my first time hearing of James Baldwin. He was often credited his stint as a preacher for turning him to writing. That's nice. I always shout out my therapist because she was the one that like pushed me, but I wouldn't even say pushed me, but opened my eyes to like how good of a writer I was without even knowing. Because again, I was silenced for so long, kind of like Maya Angelou, how we was talking about, how she wasn't able to speak or was scared to speak up, and now to be able to be so vulnerable in my pieces and be able to stand on stages and to present them and recite them with the passion and the enthusiasm that I have while doing so. It's just like, oh, shout out to you guys for just really paving the way. We also have Dr. Jewel Parker Rhodes, who is a multiple award winner for her novels and other works. Some of her honors include the American Book Award, PEN, and NEA Awards. And last but not least, we have New York Times bestselling author Zane, which I know many of us may have heard of. Yeah, publishes and written many Black erotic under Strebar books. I'm sorry. I didn't really educate myself on those type of books, but she has taken on a taboo subject and turned them into a platform of freedom for millions. Yeah, I know. I was reading her books even when I wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, Mom, I was stealing your books. But yeah, these are some of the bestsellers.
I was like, ooh.
I was. Girl, I used to
wait to get to this table.
Girl, when she used to knock on my door, I used to throw the book under my bed real fast.
What you doing?
Nothing. Girl, I didn't read stuff I had no business reading, but I'm truly inspired today, like, by these amazing Black writers, poets, playwriters, novelists, just all of this Black excellence, period. Like, I'm just honored to be Black. Like, I love being Black. Like, we are so lit.
Right. Exactly.
I wouldn't want to know other way. Unapologetically Black. Like. So, if you guys have any Black people that you would like to shout out, today is the last day of Black History. But like we said, we should have
every day.
Exactly. So
every day.
Exactly. Let's start, sharing more of our history. Being more open and educated on our facts and the things that we've done to make America America. Like, this world, this place wouldn't be running without us.
You know something else? I'm sorry. This thought just hit me, like literally just hit me. What is it that you can do to make your mark in history?
Hello.
Like,
hello. I like that. What is it that you can do
to make your mark in history?
I think what I can do is just keep believing in myself to, be this writer, this ghostwriter, this novelist, this short storytelling, just amazing person. Just to, get what I've learned, some of my experiences out into the world to, better help with healing and talking about, some of my experiences to help get people through. I think me doing that will leave a mark on many people. So just need to stay true to what I'm doing, stay true to me, continue to place all bets on me and never give up, So maybe, the people, the poets and the writers before me, they paved the way, so I could just continue to pave the way for upcoming writers and poets that's behind me.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, continue to be an inspiration.
Yeah.
Continue to encourage other people, to motivate people to identify their purpose and to dive into their passion and to just become, like
Facts.
You can never stop becoming.
Facts.
That's the beautiful side of become. And part of becoming or become is be.
Yes.
And that is you. Being. Presence. Moments. And as you be, you can come into you even the more every single day. Like, I love that.
Yeah. And that's why I be so grateful.
That's the thing for me.
For this movement. Like, so grateful for this movement, this platform that we're building, because this is just the beginning of, maybe radio shows, talk shows, something much bigger is going to come from this, because we're anchored in obedience and we really stand on God's promises. And, we're like, okay, this is just the start of a greater movement, like the start of a bigger platform,
And that's the key thing, movement. Because as long as there's movement, there's progress. And you just keep moving forward, just keep going.
Unstoppable.
Hey. It was something I was going to say, and I'm going to say it before we finish. When you said something about a ghostwriter, it made me think, like, how many Black ghostwriters are there? Because I'm pretty sure that it's a lot of Black ghostwriters, because not everybody is. They may have the presentation or even the face, but not everybody has the ability to be able to just really write. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's dealing with the songs and everything.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, just creating it and that storyline and just, making it real and, just like I watch a lot of 50 Cent shows and I'd be so intrigued. This is like, the people that sat down and thought about this storyline and these plots and these twists. It's just like, that was kind of brilliant to me, And
how they sit at the table.
Yeah. And I want to be there. Like, okay, so this is
happening.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just like, they're all just putting together a storyline, but it just comes out the way that it comes out is just so amazing to me. Like, the creative part behind it and the brilliant minds that came up with this creativity. It's just like, wow, I am inspired, truly inspired. So, can't wait for my day.
Something. This is a thought that just hit me, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it because it landed on my mental. We are in the second month of the year, the last day of the second month of 2023.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to you all, like, focus on you.
Yeah.
Focus on you. Focus on not just being, but focus on becoming. Becoming a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, when I really think about it, if we just learn to focus more so on ourselves and not on everybody else and what people got going on, we can become even better than we were yesterday. So many things could be accomplished.
Yeah.
So many milestones could be met.
Yeah.
And so many more goals could be
accomplished.
Just focus on you. This is the second month of 2023. The last day, February 28th.
Create more history,
Yes. And if you focus on you, I guarantee you that you will be making a mark in history, not even just for yourself, but for your family and possibly even the world. There's no limit.
This is a quote. I may be saying it wrong, but I do the quotes at my job, and I think it said, "If you focus on the results, you'll never see a change. But if you focus on the change, you'll begin to see results."
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, that's
And
so
that's just
true.
like learning
Yeah.
from what you did do and what didn't work. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like just learning
It's
from it.
changing. Like, yeah, so it's like on
Switch it up. Because
Facts.
to keep doing the same thing and getting the same result is what? Insanity. So you got to switch it up. You got to change. You
gotta change.
got to.
And that's the only way you're gonna begin to see results. You have to
Yes.
change.
So I'm no longer offended or feel away when I'm told you changed.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Like,
I need to.
we're supposed
You
to.
need to. Why not?
It's inevitable.
Exactly. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not be great?
Hello. Why not be happy? Why not want to
Hey.
heal? Why not just be whole? Like,
Hey.
why not? Like, I just love it here again. I know we say that
All
every
the time.
week. Every week.
You know, and it's so funny because I was like looking in the mirror this morning and I looked in my room and then I looked in the mirror again and I went to the bathroom and I looked in the mirror again. And I was like, I just love it here.
Hey, like, girl.
Like,
are
girl,
you?
you are dang, where did you come from?
Seriously, who is she?
She's the one that has done the work. Okay?
Period.
And she is okay
Okay.
with everything that happens.
Oh, I wish I had
Just
that.
filled with joy. You know, this joy I have, the world didn't give it.
And the world can't take it away. Amen.
So on that
note,
thank you for joining us. So we ask that you please like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
follow,
tag a friend.
And until next time, we will see you again.